Today on Den of Plastic, I'm going to run you through what it takes to create a professional D&D miniature. What's up, denizens? I'm Jason the Hobby Viking and you're watching Den of Plastic. So recently I had someone question why it costs so much to commission a D&D miniature, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to take you through what actually goes into creating something like this, right from out of the box. Cleaning, prepping, priming, creating the base, and then painting the rest of the figure. So thought we could run through that and I could show you what actually goes into it. So let's get into it. The first thing we want to do is clean up the models. These miniatures are notorious for having bad seam lines, and being a plasticky, rubbery type product, they're a bit difficult to clean. So this is quite a long step for me. I'm pretty particular. So once you've done that, it's into a bit of a soap and warm water bath. This is just to sort of clean up any finger marks, any oil that you might have, and the primer that they use I don't really like. So this kind of takes away the tackiness that it has. Once they're out of the bath, we hit them with the airdryer. Just speeds up the process basically, so I don't have to sit around and wait for them. Then when they're dry, I come in with just some glue them to the base, and I think it's quite ugly just sitting the miniature on that round little base that they come with. So what I'll do is I'll stick them down, and then I'll add like a texture paste, like I've got a resin sand texture paste, and yeah, I'll put this all over the base of the miniature. Yeah, finding a nice position on the base for it. You can see in the background there that I've already done the first one. That was a smooth texture paste, and this one I'm applying here is the grit, the sandy sort of texture. I wanted to come in with like a cave floor or something, and this gives a nice little difference to the base. It's not flat, yeah, so I build up little areas here and there, and it's still got that grit to it. Making sure we come all the way around, making sure it comes up and over that little base that it's already standing on. Here I just add a little bit of cork to add some more texture to the base, create like little rocks and stuff. Cork is a really good product to use for basing. It's got so many different uses. Next up, we have a paint sniffing dog. I mean, it's time to prime the models. Here I'm just coming in with a Citadel black primer, just hitting all around the model, just quick little bursts, just so that the detail doesn't fill in with the paint. Some of these minis have clear bits on them, so like this wizard, she's casting a spell, and so I cover that up with blue tack while I prime it, and then you've got to come back in and clean it off again. So this all takes time.
Now inevitably in the priming stage you've got parts that you need to touch up that you've missed with the spray. So here I just come in with a Chaos Black and paint straight back over those areas. The priming that is already on the miniature is enough to make that paint stick. And there we have it. That's all the preparation stage. So that takes quite a long time in itself, and quite often you don't get paid for that sort of stuff. Really, with these kind of miniatures being so small, customers aren't going to spend a lot of money to buy these, when you can get them for $10 at the store. So I try and keep costs down, and so really I'm only charging for the painting step, and all that preparation stage gets lost. I think overall the painting stage for me took about 4 hours, and I really only charged for about 2. So I'm personally cutting myself short on this. When you figure it out, it's really not a lot to ask. Upwards of $100 for the time you're really spending on these miniatures. But anyway, here we are in the painting stage. I came through and I did like a really deep dark purple on those robes, and then I'm coming in with like an ultramarine on the upper sort of hood part of it. Here I am just lightening with white as I go. Only hitting the bottom of the vest there. It's just to keep like a drop shadow in under that. Next up I paint the base layer of the face. I usually work sort of deepest to the most shallow parts on the model. If I leave all of that face until after I've painted the hood, then there's a good chance I'm going to get paint on that hood. So I paint in the face first, and then I'll come back later and paint the hood, and then the rest of the face, the details and stuff. Moving back to the skirt now, just lightening gradually with purples and pinks, just creating it lighter towards the top of the skirt. I imagine kind of a sharp light source hitting from the top while she's in a dark cave or something. Maybe the spell she's casting is creating a luminance over the top of her or something. Here we are again, just lightening up the top of the skirt, going more into that pinky sort of maroon colour, and then I'll lighten it towards a lighter magenta. You can really start to see the definition on the skirt folds now. Bringing in that lighter pinky magenta towards the top of the skirt. Leaving a bit of a drop shadow at the back as well. That top part of the cape comes out and we'll leave a shadow. Here comes the details on the face. I just mix up a skin tone, sort of a pinky tan, just on my palette. I'm not sure the colours I used there. It's just a mix of light browns and pinks, I guess. Just coming in and applying a general overall tone to it, and then hitting it with highlights. You see I'm glazing in some light blue into the shadows. This will just give some colour difference to the face. Just adding some cools and warm tones. I come in with some pinks in a minute. Just hit around the tops of the cheeks, over the lips. Adding colour like that to the face really just adds another layer to the colours you'll get in your face, and you'll end up with a more realistic look if you add other colours than just like a tan to that. Here I am creating some of the leathery tones, so she's got a pouch at the front there and a little sort of saddlebag or something on her side. Just coming in with just a reddy brown, working up to a highlight, adding a little bit of texture here and there. Creating more of a highlight on the pouch now. Hitting some of the edge trims. Up next is the book. So I just start off with a base creamy colour. I wanted to have some kind of illustration in this book, like it was some kind of a spell book, so I took some inspiration from the Book of Kells. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's an ancient book with a lot of Celtic design work in it. I slowed this part down here just to show you how slow and careful I take it. Too often I think in this hobby there's a focus on speed painting, and you don't always need to do that. Like, things don't need to be fast. So yeah, just slow down, just take your time and do what you need to do. You're better off getting a good result than something you feel like was rushed and could have been better. So there it is, pretty nondescript, but lots of little colours and stuff through there. blacks and golds and reds, blues. On the other side, I wanted script, so what I like to do is start with a larger letter, like they did in the old Celtic books and stuff. So yeah, I'll usually start with a different colour and then come in with little scribbles for the script. When you're doing that, make sure it's sort of not uniform. The spacing and stuff in between the letters are different so that it doesn't all line up and looks weird. Just emphasising that first letter there. There you go. Next I just flip it over, do a little bit of scribble and stuff on the front there just to make it look like a book, like an old book cover. All up, the book itself probably took me half an hour or more. So yeah, all these little intricacies take up your time when you're trying to do a paint job. So that's why the prices of professional painting minis rise up into the hundreds. This all takes time, and depending on how much you're willing to pay yourself, it really ups it. Next, creating the base. So I did your usual sort of lay down a darker base color, come in with a bit of dry brushing, just lightening it up. And then I wanted to have a bit of a puddle effect on the cave floor, so I've come in with a little bit of ultramarine blue as the base, and then I'll come over with like a hard coat. It's like a gloss varnish from Games Workshop, and that just gives that reflective wet look. And there you have it, there's the finished product. Sorry, the lighting's a bit dim, one of my lights blue. But yeah, hope you liked the video, and yeah, enjoy.
So there you have it. That's what it takes to come up with a professional quality miniature to get to your tabletop. So if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time on Den of Plastic.